Hey everybody, Drew here, and you are with me at work. Just got here, still in the truck. I wanted to go over a topic with you that actually came up this morning. I had hopes and dreams of shooting this channel kind of like a class with topics that are in order, but the reality is, I'm running my own business, husband, father, ministry, all of it, and I just want to get you guys the best content I can as it comes up. And this morning, a huge one came up. So as you guys know, based on the intro video, which you should watch, the link's in the description if you haven't yet. I'm an owner operator, and that's by choice. That is, in my world, that is not a failure. That's a success. I could go out literally today, lease some building that has 3 bays, hire, 2 full-time mechanics and a detail person by the end of the month, and turn out 40 cars a month. I would fail miserably as a husband. I would fail miserably as a father, and I wouldn't make all that much more money. I'd lose all my freedom in the process. So what have we established here? By choice, for going on 7 years, I have been an owner-operator small car dealer, and I have been wildly successful. And I don't measure that just in money. Yes, we have enough money to pay our bills, and we vacation a lot, and we very aggressively are pursuing retirement. But, look at me. I'm not rich. I told you in the intro video, if you don't have a yacht, if you're not a millionaire, you're not a failure. People that tell you you need that to be successful are full of crap, and they probably don't have it. They probably rented the crap that's in the video. So anyways, with that out of the way, I've been very, very successful as an owner-operator, and the person who reached out to me today is exactly what this channel is all about. He's a practical entrepreneur. He has identified something he enjoys, which is ironically what I do, cars, and he has identified a path to being in business while still employed, and he won't terminate employment until that business can support him, versus borrowing, loan shark capital or selling everything and moving into a van with hopes that you're going to make it big. That's Hollywood Rodeo Drive or whatever you call it. It's just a bunch of crap. It's not reality. You can do that, but starting a business safely from the comfort of employment and being able to support yourself and growing that business and blood, sweat, and tears on nights and weekends till it supports you, that's the way to start a business. So he reached out and he wants to do exactly what I do, and he asked me a really big question. He said, Drew, does the website you use provide you banks that do, poor credit financing? And if not, how do you find those people? And I said, whoa, pump the brakes, and here's the big topic. You need to identify early on in your business who you want to work with, and you need to market to them. I'm going to tell you this right now, folks, and I'm not going to beat it to death. I'm not judging people. All people are created equal. Every single one of them deserves your love and your respect. I'm not telling you that I don't value people. What I'm talking about is, as a business, it has customers. Those customers are such because they have the ability to buy. I'm talking about transactions. I'm not talking about human beings. So in my business, in the car business, the big rack, first of all, the vast majority of small car dealers, and this is going to hurt a lot of feelings and I don't care, they do not have their crap together. It's a legitimized hustle. And there's no integrity in the business. I have become extremely successful by marketing directly against that, by being directly against that. The honesty, our business is it's quality, value, and above all, integrity. And it's a circle. Integrity is on the top. Those are traits that I've personally had. Those are a gift from God that way predates this business, and there's nothing I would ever do that compromise those things. So I've marketed that. So when somebody asks me in this business about, poor credit financing, you need to hear the truth. Those people, again, they deserve your love and your respect, but you don't want to market to them. And here's the reason. When you have somebody that's had 2 repos, they have a 400 credit score, and they're between jobs, they absolutely will not get financed. The companies out there that tell you we finance anybody, they do. They're going to charge you a $1,500 fee on a $5,000 car. So if you're lucky, you made $50 at this point, and they're going to tell the customer that the $500 they have down isn't enough. They need $3,000 down. Now we're on a $5,000 car. But literally, I'll tell you straight up, I shouldn't say names, but the 2 big banks, one of them is named after a body of water, and the other one talks about residual income if you stick with them, those 2 companies. They'll literally tell the customer, you're approved, but you need bank statements you can't get. You need a letter from your employer that you can't get. And if you manage to get those things, we're going to check them for forgery. And then you need $2,500 more down than you have. Well, gosh, folks, if I had $3,000, I'd just go buy a $3,000 car. They're abusive to the customer. They're abusive to you. They're going to take literally all, if not more than your profit to get the deal done. So how many of these people are you going to work with before you get a sale? Like I said, this isn't ministry, folks. I have a ministry channel, and I'm here to tell you, in ministry, you spend, anybody who comes your way, you spend the time with them. This is not a ministry. It's a business. And you need to market to people. You need to get people to call you, to inquire on your website, to walk through your door, to come, if you're a car dealer, to come onto your lot that are qualified to buy. Now, the whole buy here, pay here thing in the loan shark financing, that works for a store that has, 2 people running it, 2 mechanics, a detail person. You get people in, get people out, hey, give me a credit app, get me all these things. You're working with 10 of those people at once. If 2 of them stick, you're on to something. But when you're an owner operator, they don't work. So now I'm going to talk to you about, I have a couple examples up my sleeve. For example, Chevrolet, Dodge, and Ford sell 3/4, 1 ton and heavy vehicles. They don't market them to 18-year-old girls. I'm not being sexist. I'm not being chauvinistic, but the reality is the demographic that buys a 1-ton truck without a bed on the back, so a box or a work bed or whatever can be put on there, is typically not high school girls. And again, I'm not being sexist. Women, a woman can do anything a guy could do in terms of construction, this is not a sexual thing. But the vast majority, and look this stuff up for yourself, the vast majority of the people buying brand new 1-ton work vehicles are not 18-year-old girls. So why would Chevy market to them? On the flip side, I have a kid cousin. She's very successful, and she loves this store called Lululemon. Lululemon is not advertising. They're not marketing. They're not targeting people like me. Look at me. I'm in a $10 hoodie with my company logo on it. And yes, I try to dress nice when I'm not at work, but Lululemon is for, young men, young women, not, pushing 40 dads that, have a blue collar job half the time and a white collar the other half, but still wear the hoodie for it. You follow what I'm saying? So you, as the owner operator car dealer, if you choose people that don't have any money and don't have any credit, you're going to waste your time. So no matter what your business looks like, maybe you want to jump into remodeling. That's an awesome business. If you could go into a bathroom, demo it down to studs and make it gorgeous, I'm here to tell you, you're going to make more money than me. There's reasons I didn't choose that business. Some of them I regret, some of them I'm glad. But and again, folks, I'm not trying to judge the people. The human beings are worth your time. Hey, listen, I'm a Christian. I'm not ashamed to tell you they were worth Jesus dying on a cross for, okay? So I'm not judging them as people. As people, they are worth everything. But as a customer, that doesn't mean that you have to market to them. So say you want to start a business remodeling and you're going to be doing everything. I know a guy that makes $500,000 plus per year as a one-man show remodeling. He's going to the wealthiest suburbs of the area that I live, and he's working with, people, doctors and lawyers and, multi-business owners that aren't even home. He's doing work in vacation properties on the lakes, and he's charging 6 figures to do these jobs. If all of a sudden he marketed himself like some of these, these window companies will finance anybody, we have the cheapest windows in town, they've got a 75-year warranty, his phone is going to blow up with jobs that aren't profitable from customers that can't afford to do them. But so am I saying that the companies that have that business model aren't making money? No, they're making more than me and they're making more than you, but they're not owner operators. They're not practical entrepreneurs that just started out. If you're going to get into the remodeling business in 10 years from now, you have 15 trucks, 15 men and women working for you, you can make money like that. If you want to start a business like me, a car business, and in 5 years from now, you've got 3 bays, you've got a lot with 40 cars on it, you absolutely should have signs that say, we'll finance anybody. There's a different video for a different day that talks about how to not waste too much of your time with those people if they absolutely cannot buy. But what I'm here to tell you is that when you start out your business, you need to identify who you want to work with and you need to market to them. So we're going on 10 minutes here. I'm trying to be respectful of your time. Again, I hope I haven't offended anybody, but I need you to know my heart. And like I said, I'm a Christian, and like I said, God himself sees everybody on this earth is worth dying for. So I'm not discounting people. I'm saying as a customer, as a file on your desk, you need to choose which ones you want to work to. So in my business, number one, I immediately get the idea out there that I'm a business. A lot of people in the car business, they try to pretend that they're private sellers. Customers know that. Everyone knows that. The DMV knows that, and they're going to shut you down. So number one, all my main photographs have my business name on them. They say they've got the business name, the phone number, the website. It says full DMV service. I used to have a sticker that says need financing, we can help. And even that, you know, I've got banks I work with that are for people with like a 650 plus. Those aren't a waste of your time at all. They're not risky like the buy here, pay here. But I even deleted that. And then in the dead center of the picture, right over the car, is a YouTube play button. What happens when they click that? They go on YouTube and they see me point out every scratch and every dent. I intimately show them the undercarriage of the car, that it's not rusty, or if it has some surface rust on it. I don't get cars from this, I don't know if you can see in the background, I'm in the rustiest area in the United States. I bring in my cars from the South. I very honestly show the undercarriage, and I try to, you know, entertain them and let them get to know me as I walk around the vehicle. But every dent, every scratch, tears in the carpet, they're all disclosed. So now what have they seen? They haven't heard anything about money yet. They know that I'm honest about being a business. They're going to hear in the video and read in the ad how long I've been in business, to check out my Google reviews. We're not talking about price. We're not talking about guaranteed financing. We're talking about quality. Remember this, folks, and I'm going to say it a lot. A sale takes place when value exceeds price. Any loser out there can drop price until he or she gets a sale. But it takes a professional. It takes me, and it takes what you are going to be. Don't just follow my advice. Find successful people in every industry and follow them. I guarantee you they are not dropping price to get a sale. They're building value. And in my videos, I build value to the point where I've actually tracked this. A little less than 90% of people who come in don't even ask me about the price. Of the maybe 11% that bring it up, less than 10% of that, so less than 1% total, or about 1% total, actually get to the point where they negotiate with me. And I think I drop price on maybe 1 or 2 cars per year, and that's only if I was about to drop it anyways. And I'm just like, look, man, if you walk out of here for a couple $100 and then check the website in a week and it's a couple $100 less, I'm a fool. So, you know, once in a great while, I'll do that. Why am I able to do that? Because I've built value. I market honesty and integrity, and I have a higher price. Most people that are, you know, we'll go back to financing. They've filled out 10 credit applications today for the buy here, pay here crap. They're not going to watch a 10-minute video about a car. They're not going to, you know, they're scanning the ad to see if I promise finance. They never even call. I will say a third time, that person is worth everything as a human. But as a customer, it's a good thing that they didn't call you when you're first starting out. When you're doing, you know, you're doing your bathrooms, you know, you want to talk about the quality of the work you've done. You want to show, you know, successful testimonials. And then when price comes up, folks, hit them right between the eyes with what you're worth. And you make sure you know what you're worth. If you do really good work, look and see what other really good work costs. If you cut corners just to get it done, well then, you know, hit them between the eyes with a lower number and get the bid, I guess. But I'm here to teach you how to, this assumes, by the way, whatever you're going to do, you are pursuing to be the best. Not make the most money, but be the best. You know, if that's you, make sure that's the money that you're trying to get. Make sure that that's the customer that you're marketing to. I can't tell you how important that is. I would have gone out of business the first year if I brought in 3 buy here, pay here banks and did everything they said. I brought in 2. I did nothing they said. Got 1 deal with one of them, regretted it from the moment, and fired both. They wanted me to change my marketing. They tried to take over my inventory. I literally fired them both. They told me I was going to fail, and I'm eating their lunch absolutely eating their lunch. Well, no, I guess I'm not, because I'm not working with those customers, but I get online orders. And again, I'm blessed. I'm not bragging. I am in Western New York State at the corners of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. In 2025, I sent cars to Albuquerque, New Mexico, Boise, Idaho, ton of them to New York City, Baltimore, Arkansas, Southeast Texas, based on YouTube videos. Do you think these people called and talked about price? Do you think they needed a loan? Maybe they needed a loan, but I got FedExed a certified check that cleared the next morning, and I shipped them a car. I got a 5-star Google review. I took the money and I fed my family. So what I want to encourage you to do today, whether you've already started your business, maybe it's too late, but it's not too late, because you could change your marketing. Whether you've already started your business or you're just thinking about it, put it in the back of your head and never forget it. You need to choose your customer when you do your marketing, not choose your people. Every single human being is worth it, but you need to choose the customers that you work with. So I'm Drew. I hope this information was helpful. If it is, be sure to subscribe to this channel. I really wanted to do this all in order, like a class, but the reality is, between, running my own business, fathering and husbanding and ministering and everything I do, I guess I'm just going to take content that I think would bless you guys in the pursuit of your business, and I'm going to post it as it comes. So that's what this is. Be sure to check the intro video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It's going to be a while between videos, but I promise, as things come up and I'm allowed the time, I will absolutely be putting up here what's made me successful. And remember this: if I could do it, you could do it. Hang in there. You got this. There's brighter days. There's freedom. There's financial stability. All of it's in your future. Just stick with it. Take care. God bless. Bye.